Now another little tidbit here. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a 13 millimeter wrench or socket, well, actually wrench, you can use a 1/2 inch to take this puppy off. Now, before you go getting all excited and everything, one thing that you want to think about is that this tensioner, when you put it back up, be careful because it's indexed. You see this pin right here? That pin fits up there into the motor so that it's in the right place for the play on the spring, which is what provides the automatic tensioning of the serpentine. So before you go tightening it down and it doesn't go all the way and you get frustrated, just remember, you have that pin that has to fit first, then you can start putting your bolt in to secure this bad puppy. All right, so we'll be right back after she gets up in there. Okay, boys and girls, hey, we got us a bonus feature today. That was pretty easy putting that back up in there, but we got us a bonus feature here where we're going to replace the alternator as well. That little puppy right there, while we're in there, there's that's a 13. Yep, that's a 13 millimeter nut right there that the main rotor connector fits on, and then there's just this little clip right here that you just have to horse it around there on the bottom with that piece right there to get it off. And then there's two 15 millimeter bolts, one right here, and then on the bottom side there's another one. Now here's the other one right here that's hiding. You see that little puppy down in there? That bolt right there, that is the third bolt. You probably can't see it too well, but I got my socket right there on it. And once you get that one out right there, then that alternator lifts right out. And since everything's open, and we got the other stuff, and we were eventually going to be replacing the alternator anyway, it's a good time to go ahead and do it. All right, boys and girls, be right back. Oh, by the way, when I said that it's easy enough for the guys to sit back and the girls to do it, that's because the old saying is, if it was easy, the girls would be doing it. Well, guess what? Girls, you're just as talented as the guys. You can do this too. I guarantee you, you girls can do it too. All you have to do is have the little tricks like us guys have. Like, we have longer wrenches. It's called pipe. I guarantee you, you put a piece of pipe on there, you might as well be a weightlifter, because that piece of pipe right there, you can take one finger and you can turn any bolts that you ever wanted to turn. All right, be back shortly. All right, see you, buddies. All right, and there she is, guys. That last bolt that you was looking for, it's right there. That puppy is hidden. And if it's been a while, I guarantee you that it's got oil and grease and dirt on it. Back in the day, we wouldn't just replace the alternator right there. We didn't have them diode packs and such like that in there. Even if we did, we'd replace the diode pack. But our biggest problem was we just take it apart and replace the brushes. And then we put that sucker back in. We spend $2 on brushes. And now we spend big bucks, almost $200 to replace that puppy there. Oh, but way back in the day, if you old guys, you remember them starters used to weigh 30 pounds. Now, they fit in your pocket, and they only weigh about 2 or 3 pounds. Okay, so we'll be right back when we get ready to put her back together. Just waiting on the parts runner to get back. Okay, boys and girls, there she is. Boy, she's right. Look at her. She's looking pretty in there, isn't she? There we go. So now it's just a matter of putting things back together. There's the old one right there. Now, I'm telling you now, I'm not doing any commercials for anybody, but that's the box that I got. And I got everything from Advanced Auto. And besides that, I'm retired military, and being a retired military, I get 10% off of the price. So Any of you old hands out there who are retired military or even active duty military, try to remember that. At Advanced Auto, you're going to get 10% if you show them your ID card. So let's put this thing back together again, and it should be sort of straightforward. It shouldn't be any big thing. What you think, Dan? Yeah, well, guess what? I'm thinking it's going to be a big thing. Is putting that belt back on, because that is going to probably be the hardest part. See that little boss down there, that right there, that little tip sticking out? That right there belongs to the tensioner. And just in case you guys didn't know what I was talking about when I said a crow's foot wrench, that crow's foot wrench is this. All it is just the end of a wrench that has either a 1/2 or a 3/8 inch square hole in it for the ratchet. And what it does is it allows you to use your ratchet as the handle on a wrench, but at as many positions as your ratchet allows. So crow's foot is a good tool. You may not use it often, but when you use it, it's because you really need it. And in this case, I'd rather use that than I would a wrench, even with a piece of pipe on the end of it. No, I'd rather use that. And you girls, listen here. All of the mechanics that say that they are super mechanics, they ain't got the muscle. What they got is the leverage, and that's what that piece of pipe gives you. So what if a piece of a bolt is or a nut is tight? As long as you have a 6-point socket sitting on top of it right there, and you put that piece of pipe on there, you can take one finger and you can turn it, and you'd be just as strong as the rest of them. It don't matter. That's what that piece of pipe does. It makes that handle longer. And that's what the guys don't tell you that they wind up doing. And so I guess I'm telling the secret. So I'm going to put it all back together, and then I'll be back whenever she's back together, and then we'll see what it sounds like. Because that tensioner bearing, that right there, that thing sounded a little tinny, and I know tinny. And yeah, she was a good old girl, but she got kind of rough. Be right back. All right, boys and girls. Oh, we did have a little brief rain shower around here, and just happens to be coming off the roof right there where we're working. Bummer. But we got the belt on before it really started pouring. That was really the hardest part right there. And then we got down in here, and we got our weather shields back up in there. Little sprinkle out here, and all we got to do is put the tire back on. But for that, I really got to get down in there, and I gotta put the mic on that caliper there, or the rotor rather, and see what we got. But we're basically all but done. Now you know that replacing all of this stuff, like the both of the pulleys and the serpentine belt and the alternator, those were only secondary objectives. The primary objective was to make sure or to see if we got all of the nuts and everything and the bolts and the screws that we took out back in there. And guess what? I got none left. All right, I have achieved the primary objective, which was to put everything back that I got. The secondary objective was to replace the alternator, to replace the tensioner pulley, and to replace the idler pulley, as well as the serpentine belt. So, there we go. Now we're all done, boys and girls. Yeah, and that is a big challenge. to put all of the screws back that you take out. Who knows where the rest of them go? They go back there in your little parts drawer, don't they? For use on something else, because you don't know where they went. Okay, so we're done. That's it. And, oh, I don't know what'll be next, but we'll see. Oh, and by the way, you did not have to pay a nickel in order to view this, as in some of the other ones, especially one of the other ones. So this is a very momentous thing, I think. And remember, you girls can do this too, because you don't have to be strong. You just need some leverage, and that's what that pipe gives you. All right, so I'm all done. We'll talk to you later. Okay, boys and girls, I'm happy to report everything works really great. In fact, it's quiet. It had a bit of chatter whenever you turn on the air conditioning and then whatever, and now it's just a whir of the new belt and the new bearings until they work in. So we'll be done, and now this is the really hard part. We got to put everything away, unless I have some volunteers out there. Annie, yeah, what do you think? Huh? You gonna volunteer? Hey, are you sure? Oh, Dad, going it. All right, I'll do it myself.